All right. Seems like it's still going, so we're gonna keep trying it. This is Destiny: The Final Shape. Year 7, to be exact. Sorry, keep checking because I've recorded this video like 3 times and I don't want it to stop recording again. So, this is my Destiny 2 Final Shape showcase for year 7. This was a good year, you know. I believe this expansion was a really good expansion with the story, a really good high and ending to the Light and Darkness saga. Destiny is by far my favorite game of all time, and I will continue to play it until it dies. I have put a lot of time and effort into this game these last couple years. I would say this last year for sure. These are my 3 characters. My Warlock is my main. I usually have the same drip every year, which you will see, but I switched it up a little bit because of the current season. I have my Hunter. I used to play as my Hunter as my second character more. However, I switched it up for my Titan to be my main character, my second main. So a couple changes there. In terms of the director, you know, nothing has really changed here so far. However, in the next expansion, Edge of Fate, this is not going to be the main page moving forward. It's actually going to be the portal. So some couple changes here. As you can see, Pale Heart was the main destination. So going into it, right, this is the newest location. I think it was a beautiful destination. I think the story was wonderful. In terms of expansions, I personally still think Forsaken tops all expansions. You know, it was very well made. However, I just wish that they had a little bit more surprises. You know, they added the addition of Prismatic this year. And I just wish that they did a 3rd Darkness subclass rather than Prismatic and hide that. But I digress. You know, Salvation's Edge was probably one of the hardest raids this year. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Excision is an extremely well-made activity for 12 people. I wish we saw more 12-player activities, but who knows? Other stuff, minor things here, you know, Vanguard Ops, everything. This year they added Pathfinders. Truthfully, I'm not a fan of Pathfinders. I know it's technically a better replacement for bounties. However, I feel like I missed out on a lot of Bright Dust this year because I don't focus on my Pathfinders. I did more bounties than I did Pathfinders. So there's that. But I did, every time there's the final season, I do always complete the challenges. And this year I did complete the challenge bonus. So I did get that $5,000, that, or 5,000 Bright Dust bounty change. This is a shop, you know, some cool stuff here. When it comes to the planets, nothing else is really different, right? We have the tower and the last city here, and the eternity, which I'll get into in a second. But the last city is mixed with the helm. The helm crashed. Breach executable was one of the seasonal activities with Enigma Protocol. Fun activities there. Encore. Good exotic mission. Just ran it back actually the other night, but just really tired of running it over and over and over again. This act/season was the Nether with the Dreadnought. Court of Blades was really fun. This is the chess puzzle. Do you realize it's okay? Not my favorite exotic mission, but We have the last city, which had the marketplace, Ido, and her tonic table. Most people didn't like the tonics from the second season. However, I really did. I think they were pretty strong. Kel's Fall, Onslaught, as well as Kel's Vengeance, Tomb of Elders, Contest of Elders. The end of the year activity that they brought out was Rite of the Nine. I think it was a good addition to the game, but not as good as Pantheon from last year. This year had the 3 different acts, Echoes, Revenant, and Heresy. I think they were good changes, but, you know, we're so used to the seasonal model, it just felt exactly the same. I'm quite excited for Edge of Fate, as, you know, I'm excited for the new storyline, the new expansion, just seeing where things are going to go. So, yeah, you know, I believe there's going to be a lot more mystery coming back to the game. I'm excited for the new changes that's coming. So, yeah. In terms of prep, you know, I actually haven't done any prep this year. I don't know why. Usually I try and do bounty preps every year, but they're pretty much getting rid of most bounties and switching up how the game works in progression. So, truthfully, I don't think it's necessary. I will be going for the day 1 race, but chances of me placing are little to slim, so I'm not worried too much about that. I just want to do the raid on day 1. When it comes to the tower, nothing has really changed here, so don't need to worry too much about that. Gonna go into my character and talk a little bit about my experience this last year. Here are my loadouts, right? I tried to do a loadout for each subclass. Truthfully, I don't really use most of these, so I might actually get rid of them. This is one for the dungeons that I've been doing, Crucible, and then I try to leave these last 2 for one for Prismatic, so alternate to my main subclass one that I would run, but I ran a lot of Prismatic this year. And then I'm going to leave this one open for any of the new season and what is the powerful thing to go. So right now Arc is super strong, so I've been running a lot of Arc. You can see we have all of these mods here. This setup was pretty crazy with what they brought in terms of bolt charge and stuff this season. Really enjoyed the artifacts this run around. A lot of good stuff came from this with particle deconstruction, as well as this one right here. In terms of weapons, right, Multi-Mach is a newer weapon for me, but a very good gun, solid overall. Main gun was Kvostov at 10,000 kills. Loved using this gun. Hated grinding for it. Did not enjoy that whatsoever. Lost Signal, amazing gun. Ignition Code, this is my baby, but they brought it back last season, and I just got the newer version with the enhanced stuff, enhanced it and kind of put it away. Don't really use it too much, as you can see there. Yeah, my other one has 5,000 kills. In terms of energy weapons, Delicate Tomb, I already previously liked this gun. However, they really kicked it up a notch with the artifacts, so been using this a lot this season. My main guns really have been these, right? Nullify is really strong. Psychopomp, Aberrant Action, ridiculously good. No Survivors, just had this one since it's the seasonal one. However, Velocity Baton is my main weapon of choice. It is quite good. I used this for an entire season. The fact that I was able to get 12,000 kills was ridiculous for me, since I hardly play. Well, I play, but you know what I mean. I tried to collect maximum of 3 mementos per thing, just like holding on to them. So that's me here. Moving on to heavy weapons, you know, this is the main one that's being used this season. This is a really good one for boss damage. Love using this gun overall, obviously for skating around. So can't go wrong with any of these choices. In terms of drip, this is my drip. I did switch it up, so as you can see, this is my main drip that I usually run. Love this drip, and I am still a person who really cares about their stats. I usually want their stats to be as even as possible, so normally I would move these 70s into these, so it's all 60. However, I've been switching things around, and this drip I actually really like. So This year with Prismatic, I've been doing the Getaway Artist build. It's just too strong, so been using that. But with the Arc loadout, I really like this one. I like how it looks. I like the different shaders that I was able to use together, except these two that were together. But yeah, overall, really, really strong. These are my emblems, right? The vehicle. They also added the Griffin, which was pretty cool for like one day, and then people just never use it again. So I switched this one because I wanted to switch up my ships. I usually use this one as my main. Just love this one. Can't go wrong with it, right? I put another one of my ships to another character, so I'm happy with what I'm using right now. Inventory's pretty good, stacked up on engrams, Tome of Want, and Tonic Capsule. When it comes to my journey of this year, one of the things that I'm most proud of are the fact that I hit rank 11 every season, but then also the fact that I have hit every single title in the game. I was looking over the previous years, and there were still a couple that I missed, like Flawless, as well as some of the dungeon ones. I believe it was the year of Witch Queen or Lightfall, where I did all of the dungeons solo. And for that, I actually went to my Titan to do those runs. But in this year, I was able to accomplish them on my Warlock, which was good to know. And for instance, with this one, Vesper's Host, I actually almost completed it solo flawless, but I died like an idiot because I didn't clear the ads in between of the encounters. So I died once, and it just, oh well. But really good time. The sucky thing is that the hardest thing for me was doing the clan mates triumphs, because people aren't really playing this game too much anymore. So finding people part of my clan to do to run them with me was a little difficult. Iconoclast was one of my favorite ones to go for with Salvation's Edge. Yes, it is a difficult raid, but I think it was a really good raid nonetheless. So I really enjoyed this title. Next is the Rite of the Nine one, which I had just completed. Not difficult at all. It was fun to do the fun to do the dungeons on ultimatum mode. Definitely switched it up a little bit. Other notable mentions was the heavy metal. I had to do this one in one night. I did in like 4 hours because I didn't know that it was a limited time event. So I stayed up until like 3 in the morning to get it done before reset. So that was fun. Flawless, got that one done. I never expected to get that one done, like ever. Pretty much everything else, like Reveler, that one. I got everything else done except Festival of the Lost because I just chose not to play one Halloween, which really bothered me because I had to wait for an entire other year to complete it. So dumb on my part, but I got it finished. Everything else here is completed, done, and dusted. 2 titles that I did not like completing was the Final Shape title. I think this one was just way too long, both as a, I would say, like semi-casual player, but also committed player. It just took way too long, longer than most other titles. And like, for instance, doing the Kvostov, doing each of the cysts. One that really bothered me was the Pathfinders. That one took forever. I spent, I think, like weeks doing it over and over and over again, but I got it done. It just took really long. Another one was this Revenant title. Just doing Onslaught got really boring very quickly. So doing that, see, I haven't even completed this, but I got the title. So that's just another thing. But other than that, this season was quite good. The secrets and everything was pretty fun to accomplish, so nothing hard there. I just think that the grind was a little long when it came to both maxing out maximum rank for Ambitious and Resolve, I believe. So that just took a little bit longer than I would have liked. I have these titles: Brave, which is the 10-year anniversary, Pantheon, Godslayer, love this one. Moments of Triumph. I wish that one had a little bit more to it, but because I play enough, it was pretty much auto completed by the time that I had gone through this. So didn't really have to do any work for that. These are just some of the other legacy titles. You see I have 12. I was actually really close to completing a couple other ones of these, but I just didn't care enough to do them, so I didn't. But yeah, you know, that's been my year in Destiny. Really good year overall. I love playing this game, but this was the first year that I felt like I had completed this game. You know, as a live service game, it's impossible to do that, I know, but it was very strange when I completed the final title, knowing that I had come closer to essentially doing everything in the game. Now I'm kind of left with there's not much more for me to do. I mean, I don't care to go for those additional triumph scores. I can, but it's just not really my passion. But yeah, I mean, everything else in terms of titles, I'm very happy about. So yeah, I'm really excited about the new changes in terms of weapons. Tier 5, I think I'll be grinding for a little bit, but not too heavily into that. The new armor stats, I'm really excited to see how that's going to turn out. Overall, just a lot of this stuff I think is really cool, really exciting to see and go into. Yeah, so here's to another year of Destiny, at least 1 year, and another hopefully good saga. But thank you if you stayed and watched, and I hope to make more of these in the future. And Bungie, if you want any suggestions or want some feedback, feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to do that. Thank you very much.